Tell me something good. What good happened in your real estate business recently? Hermes, yes, you got something to share.
Yeah, 7 days till close of escrow.
7 days. Wow, man. Tell me more. Tell me more. Just really quick.
So basically, it was a property in 465 in the Foothills region of Roseville.
Go ahead, stand up so we can see you.
So it was a $465,000 property, and then we negotiated for originally 435, but I advised my client against it. After she went to 442, we got countered at 450 as is, and we accepted it.
Well done, man. It's a 7-day close. Who else has online? Feel free to chime in. Who else has something? Oh, Kat, you want this? Sorry, it's like earthquake-ish. Oh, you gotta tell me something good now.
Yeah.
No, you're showing some buyers property.
Today.
Cool. Where'd you get them?
One was a referral from a lender and another one was Google.
Google lead. Awesome. Well, there you go, pretty girl. All right. So, yeah. So if you want to learn about Valerie's Google leads, talk to me.
Yeah.
I'm the one that does it. So real quick, there is this amazing thing. We spoke about it last Thursday. So EXP is taking place in a fundraiser. And what we're doing is we're raising money for LLS. It stands for Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. And so what it does is they research and provide assistance to families going through blood-based cancer illnesses. And so our goal is to win. This is a fundraising event. It lasts from today till May 5th. And whoever raises the most money wins. There's no pot of gold. It's just that we get to win. Last year, Lion won, and I don't want that to happen again. So if you're all interested, just go to expLLS.com. J-Rel, can you throw that in the chat?
Hey, Johnny,
Yeah.
I'm interested, but I'm not gonna go to the site, but I'll pass you a 50.
Pass me a
I'll
50.
give it to Valerie.
Yeah, that's probably safer.
It's not a cigar, Johnny.
Talk to me about leads. Give Valerie money. That's
Yeah. So if anybody else wants to give some cash to her while you're here, that'll help kick it off.
absolutely. Thank you, Barry. Thank you.
And it's not just financially either. Like if you reach out to your database and have a conversation with clients about this fundraiser that we're doing, it's super helpful. Even if it's $5, it all goes towards cancer research.
Really good point. So that's something else that you can use this for is do an email blast your database. Say, hey, I'm a local realtor. I'm giving back to the community. It's a value add touch. It's showing that you care about the community rather than just, oh, here's another house. Here's an open, here, let me show you a home, right? Let me take. This is like giving back and it doesn't cost you a thing. So if you're interested in joining the team, you can also go to that same expLLS.com and join the team, and we'll help you with that. Any questions? Anybody interested in this? Raise your hand if you're interested in this. All right. Got some hands. Love it. Thank you so much. Next Thursday, we're having a guy speak. He is, I'm blanking on his name. It's not even on there. Is it on there? Scott. That's blue and bold. Scott's going to be speaking on trusts and probates. So if you are like, I'm not sure how that process works. How do I handle that? What's the paperwork involved? This guy, he's a master presenter. He's, I think, presented on this topic over 1,000 times. He's really good. So you'll want to be here next week. And then March 23rd at PCAR. Who here attended Dale's course a week or two ago? Okay, for those of you who attended, did you like it? Was he good? Yeah. What was your biggest takeaway, Jenna?
I think it was just like a nice reminder of getting to, the pain versus pleasure and asking those questions to understanding how to speak to your clients better.
And it wasn't like super scripty, right? It was,
No, not
yeah.
at all. So
Good stuff. Glad you liked it. But if you liked him, you're going to love this because we have 4 industry leaders that are going to be speaking. In fact, I think one of them sitting in the room right now. Is that right?
I think so.
I think so. Yeah. So it's for free. PCAR March 23rd. Go ahead and sign up for that. Made for More Mixer. It's the same day.
Go back to that one. Can you go back to that?
The
slide
top
real quick?
producer one that I just
Yeah, go
closed.
back to that slide for a second.
Don't even.
No, okay, well, you don't have to go back to the slide, it's sorry, don't worry about it, but does it just me, or does that girl look like she's 12?
I think it's just you.
She looks really young.
That's what's in the water. There you go.
Oh, my goodness.
But the same day we have, so you're gonna learn in the morning, in the afternoon, you come down to Crawdads on the River and have a good time. We're doing the Made for More mixer.
Same
That's
day.
the same day, March 23rd. And so it's a good opportunity to meet new people, lenders, vendors, and small business owners, potential clients, make some new friends. And then last but certainly not least, who here loves taxes? Raise your hand. You guys are raising your hand. You love taxes? Oh my goodness. You're
One of the best states in the union.
one of the, oh my good. Well, you can pay mine if you don't, if you like them that much. But the point is that we are throwing a tax workshop designed specifically for real estate agents on April 19th. This guy, he's my personal CPA. You do not have to use him, but he's going to be giving away strategies that could save you over $10,000 next year if you implement what he teaches. Again, it's free. It's going to be taking place here. Learn more, just go to Made for More on Eventbrite and you can see all the events up there. But with that, that's all I had for today. And then let's get to the lender update. Mr. Rodney Rose, what do you got for us?
I got the market's on a crazy move with no logic to it at the moment. We started off February 2nd at just breaking under 6% at 5.99 on the interest rates. And in the last few days, they've gone up about 0.75%. We're now at 6.88. So that's a pretty drastic, quick change in the marketplace that most people haven't felt yet. But with that said, I always like to throw some goodness into this conversation.
Please
And
do.
there's two great things that have just been announced. One is going effective, I think, immediately, and that is with FHA loans. They're dropping the MI, the mortgage insurance part of it, by not completely. They're dropping it 30 basis points, which is over a third of the payment, right? So if you're, MI is, and that's part of the qualifying part. If it was $300, now it's down to under, $200, right?
So are they dropping both the upfront and the?
No, not the funding fee, just the mortgage insurance premium.
All right.
So well, that's a big deal. That's a great step. Which leads to the other part of strategies, right? I'm always talking about strategies in today's marketplace on how to use those to get into the properties. The spread between FHA and conventional right now is huge. And with FHA, regardless if you put 20% down or more, you're still going to have mortgage insurance with FHA. So one of the disadvantages of FHA when you have a buyer that's perfectly suited for conventional and was going to put down 20%. Going FHA was a little bit of a negative with all the fees that FHA have and having to have mortgage insurance. With the spread right now and the reduction of the mortgage insurance premium, it's a good alternative to look at. Your buyers might not be excited about, that process or having the MI, but when you look at the final monthly payment, it's a no-brainer. It's going to get them into the deal. Plus, FHA is a little more forgiving on some things and will go higher on the debt to income ratio. So I would strongly encourage that. 30 basis points. It was at 0.85 and now it's down to 30 less, so 0.55, right? So that, and a lot of insurance premiums are, $300 to $400 a month. So it's a pretty significant change. That gives, with another couple $100 qualifying power for the borrower, right? It's a big deal, helpful. The other one is coming out soon. This one's mind-boggling, right? The rates are probably going to be a little bit higher. This is a down payment assistance program, 20% down in the down payment assistance program. You're going to avoid MI, 20% down is going to lower that monthly payment. So that's a really big deal. All the details haven't been presented yet, but the last one was out, was close to $200,000 on an income standpoint, right? So it's not like, it's really scrutinizing on who can get it. This is for our marketplace. It's a really great deal. The change on that versus the way they have been done up until this was that you got a gift of the money or a half a gift, or you didn't. This one is you have to give back the 20% when you go to sell or refinance. Plus, they want 20% of the appreciation, right? So how do you use this strategy strategically, right? Is if the buyer thinks the market's not going up, we're waiting for it to crash, then what could be better than someone betting their 20%, not yours, right, on the buy? And if it doesn't go up much at all, they don't have to give much money back to the thing, but they've got a place to live. They've got tax write-offs. It is like a no-brainer sale, in my opinion, using it in that strategy, right?
Fantastic stuff.
Yeah, and if the market goes up, then of course you've got profit and you share your profit.
Absolutely. How much would, going back to your first thing, a $300 to $400 increase or decrease in their payment, how much more buying power that gives somebody?
Well, it's going to be in the probably about $15,000. Just doing quick math in my head.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's something that you can share with your clients, because the 0.1, the 33 bips, like don't say that. Do not say that. Right.
Right.
But if like, it's like, hey, contact me. I have a way that I can get you an extra $15,000 on your purchase price or your pre-approval, or contact me. I can save you $300 to $400 on your monthly payment. That resonates more with clients than the bips. Fair enough.
And I'm just posting something right now into the team. I talked about doing it before. I'm doing it. I got it ready. It's in, and it's a snapshot of where we are today on interest rates and where we were a year ago today. And it shows, it's a little confusing, and so digest it before you kind of talk about it, but it shows that there is about a $230,000 price difference between 3% and 7% for the buyer who was trying to buy a $2,500 a month payment. Because the payments, their income hasn't changed, so they're still trying to get that same payment. What is it like today versus that? So if you have sellers and they're wondering why there's not many buyers, well, that's why. If the buyer's trying to buy that house that they looked at a year ago and they can't, that's why. So I'm going to start posting in some of those things to kind of give some reflective and educational information in there to help you navigate.
Yeah, no, good stuff. Ronnie, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
My cell phone, 916-223-2775. You can call me or text me, or getmoneyforyou.com.
FOR? How do you spell?
Yeah, exactly. GETFOR. Get money, MONEY for you, or get money for you. I've got me.
Is that right? Did I spell that right?
Get money for you. I think you got a T. Is that a T?
No, it's right.
No, get money to you.
No, it's for you.
For you? I can't. It's getmoneyforyou.com.
Well, go there, and if that's Rocky's face, then you know you're in the right spot.
If it's something weird, I didn't do that.
Yeah. If it's something else, if they're asking for money and they're in Zambia, don't give it to them. Okay. So with that, Ronnie, thank you so much for presenting. You always bring some good information. We have Mr. Eric Lofholm. I think Brent's going to hop on here later today. I just timed that up 30 seconds ago. So
yeah, you mentioned that to me.
okay.
So just how long do you want me to go for?
Just keep rolling, because he may or may not be able to make it, depending on the situation. Cool. All right, so everybody, welcome to the front of the room, Mr. Eric Lofholm.
All right. It's great to be here with you guys, and what I want to do is create the possibility of a miracle for you right now. So who would be up for experiencing a miracle in our meeting by show of hands? All right, so I'm wearing my miracle shirt right now. This shirt looks like a regular shirt, looks like a Target shirt, which it is, but it's my miracle shirt. And I actually recently bought 4 more of them. The original miracle shirt was, the reason I call it that, is my 17-year-old daughter gave it to me. I don't remember if it was my birthday or Father's Day, but one of those days. And so I said, okay, I'm going to create this shirt to be my miracle shirt. So anytime I want to create a miracle, I'm going to wear the shirt. So you might create a miracle, something or other for you when you're doing a listing presentation. And maybe it's your miracle necklace or watch or belt. And it's a mindset. So when I put the shirt on, it creates a mindset that I'm going to go out and I'm going to create a miracle. That's a very different way of thinking. Most people don't talk about that. So you might think about having something when you want to create something special in your life, like doing a listing presentation or something else. So we're going to create a miracle, and our topic today is prospecting. And I want you to think about the question I'm going to ask you. I'm not just looking for an automatic yes, Eric. I want you to really think about this for your business right now. Get present to the question. And the question is, do you need to be doing more prospecting in your business right now? And is there anybody, when you get present to that, and you really think about your own situation? I do under that category. Okay. So let's think about that for just a second. What if you actually did that? What if I could deliver the miracle to you to produce that as a reality, where you walked out of this room and you actually started doing more prospecting? What would the financial implications be of that? Just kind of think about that for a moment. You have the rest of your career. So I'm 52. I'm doing this work until I'm 89. And I got 89 because I saw Willie Nelson in concert last summer. And yeah, we saw each other. We saw each other. Johnny was there with me. And Willie Nelson was 89 at that concert. And he did a great job. And I was like, wow, I didn't know you could like be awesome at 89. I didn't even know that was possible. And so I left that concert, kind of like my miracle shirt. I had an idea now in my mind that I'm going to do this work until I'm 89. So as I'm going about and I learn an idea, I've got a 37-year value of that idea. So if you think about how much longer you plan on being in business, if I can help you with an idea to get you to do more prospecting, let's say you got how many of you have at least, say, 10 years in you? You got 10 more years in real estate, at least 10 more years. Okay. So if you got at least 10 more years and I could get you to do more prospecting, and you look at the 10-year value of that, let's say that brought you an extra 30 grand a year. That's a pretty low number, right? If you did more prospecting, would you agree you could make at least an extra 30 grand? Okay, probably a lot more than that, right?
Yeah.
So, but even at 30 grand, 10 years, that's $300,000 from what I'm going to tell you guys today. Like, get present to that. That's a possibility. 300,000, 500,000, $500,000, million, maybe even more. Just off of ideas. So that's what we're going to talk about. Now, this shirt, I said it was a Target shirt, and I told you I bought 4 more of them, right? I got the one, so I went to Target over the weekend, just this past weekend. I needed some more, because what if I lose my miracle shirt? I want to have a backup, right? So I go to Target. This is called Tech Gear. That's the brand name on the shirt, Tech Gear. So I'm looking for tech gear at Target. Does anybody know the problem with looking for tech gear at Target? They don't carry the brand called Tech Gear. So when I got the shirt, I just assumed that my daughter got it at Target. So I went to Target to get the shirt, and I went there, and they don't carry Tech Gear. So I went and looked on the internet, and Tech Gear's a Kohl's brand. So I was looking for the shirt in the wrong store. I wasn't going to find it. So if you want to get better at prospecting, you got to know where to look to get better at prospecting. And where most people look is this. They'll say, I just need to take more action. That's the answer. I know what I need to do. How many of you connect with the idea of, I know how to prospect. I know what I need to do. I just need to do it. Can you guys connect with that? Yeah. Okay. Here's the challenge though. That's like looking for tech gear at Target. It's not there. The solution is not more action. That's not where you're going to find the solution. It's like if your garage is a mess and you hire a professional organizer and they come over, they get the plastic see-through boxes and they label everything and they make your garage look perfect, right? But your garage is a mess and they make it look nice. And I come over, I visit your garage and it's perfect now. And then in a year, what's it going to be? It's going to be right back. What's creating the result that you have right now. So I want to just open it up and hear from a few of you. Like when you think about prospecting, like what is your current thinking that is like, yeah, that's not helping me do more prospecting? So can anybody share a thought you have in your life right now about prospecting that you're like, yeah, that thought doesn't help me do more prospecting? Like every time I go on a diet, I cheat. If that's my thought, then what am I going to do? I'm going to go on a diet and I'm going to cheat. And then I'm like, I'm trying to lose weight, but every time I go on a diet, I cheat. But the problem is that thought is going to create a result that you don't want. And so you go through your whole life like, I just need to go to the gym. I just need to eat better. It's not going to solve it because it's up here. So what's a thought that somebody you're connecting with right now? You're like, yeah, this is a thought I have that doesn't create me being a master prospector. Is anybody willing to share a thought? Yeah.
So this is what I hear a lot when I meet with realtors is,
Yeah.
oh, I suck at cold calling or I hate cold calling.
Yeah. I hate cold calling. Okay. That's a thought that will keep you from cold calling. Okay. Or I'm not good at it. Because I'm not good at it creates an alibi. Well, how'd you do with your prospecting? I didn't do it. Well, how come? Well, I'm not good at it. Don't you know? It's a perfect alibi. What are some other thoughts, whether they're your thoughts or a thought somebody could have that would prevent them from doing more prospecting? Anybody else have a thought?
I'm interrupting others.
I'm going to be bothering them.
Yeah.
If I go knock on their door, I'll be bothering them. If I call them, I'm going to be bothering them. How about for agent attraction? Because some of you want to do agent attraction, but you're not doing it because of a thought in your mind. And the thought is what?
I'm not good at public speaking.
I'm not good at public speaking. Okay. Someone's already talked about EXP.
Yeah.
I can't talk to them. Somebody's already talked about EXP. They're not going to want to hear about EXP. Okay. If you have a thought, they're not going to want to hear about EXP, then what's the action going to be? You're not going to reach out. And then you come to the meeting here and you're like, I want to create leverage in my business. I want to build a team. But my thought is they don't want to hear about it. Do you see how, as long as you hold that thought, that's the foundational thought that's going to drive the action. So I hired a coach. I think I told you guys this before. I paid him 45 grand for 10 hours. And he doesn't coach over the phone or Zoom. And he lives in Arizona. So I had to fly to sit with this man. And it was all about thinking. That was the conversation. And this is what he taught me. And I put it up here on the board. If you reverse engineer results, this is going to help you when you're looking for tech gear to go to Kohl's and not Target, because you're not going to find it at Target. This would be a good thing to either take a picture of or write it down in your notes. I paid a guy $45,000 and I got a good deal. So Eric, why would you pay somebody $45,000 for 10 hours? That doesn't make any sense. And on one hand, it doesn't make any sense. But here's why I did it. If I have a 37-year career in front of me, and if those 10 hours make me more effective every day for the next 37 years, it's a bargain. It's a different way of thinking. So we want to invest in ourselves. We want to work on our skills. And when it comes to prospecting, what I want to do is I want to surgically remove some of those thoughts that aren't serving you. So I'm going to remove some thoughts that aren't serving you, and I'm going to replace those thoughts with thoughts that are going to serve you. So the formula, we want results. We're getting results. We're all getting results right now. Whether you want them or not, we're getting results. What causes a result? Action. I know what I need to do. I just need to do it. Action. So we look here and we say, I just need to take action. And I hear that all the time. I was on the phone this morning with a real estate agent who you guys know. It's not Brent, but it's a really top guy in the community here. We're having a conversation. And basically that was the conversation. I know what I need to do, but I'm not doing it. Okay. So I said, look, what's upstream from action is thinking or language. So here's the $1 million question. You ask yourself, if you're not prospecting, what's the thinking that's creating me to not prospect? What's the thinking that's creating me to not go to the gym if you're trying to go to the gym? What's the thinking that's causing me not to do agent attraction? And then what's upstream from thinking is being, as in state of being. So you observe your thoughts and you go, who am I being as it relates to prospecting? And it might be, I'm being fearful. I'm being timid. I'm being reserved. I'm being inconsistent. Okay, so results upstream, action upstream from action is thinking. This is what's driving the thinking, but what's driving the thinking is being. So now here's the $1 million question. This is what I paid the guy the 45 grand for, to learn what I'm gonna tell you right now. Notice what your thinking is, and then the question is, what does my thinking need to be? What does my thinking need to be in order to get the results that I want? Because any one of you in this room could become a master prospector. And you can become elite at agent attraction. But you're probably not thinking about the idea. You may have never thought that in your head. I am a master prospector. It's probably not what's going on up here. I am elite at agent attraction. What if you started thinking I'm elite at agent attraction? If you started thinking that, then your actions would be that. So you wouldn't have to think about when the next PCAR meeting comes up, you would automatically invite people. Because if you're elite at agent attraction, the actions are going to follow. Okay. So what is my being? I'm being shy, timid, inconsistent. And then the question is, what does my being need to be in order to create the results that I want? So one possibility, you could be massive action. You could be consistent. You could be your word. You could be keep my agreements with myself. A lot of people say the opposite. They declare, I don't do what I say. I don't follow through on what I say. I'm really good at doing it for other people, but not for myself. I hear that all the time. I'm really good. If I got an agreement with Johnny, I'm really good at doing that, but I'm not so good at keeping those agreements with myself. So I'm being not keeping my agreements with myself, which then creates thinking, which creates action, which creates results. So you could be, I plant my flag. I planted my flag. I'm going to be the top agent attraction person in the community. I'm teaching this to somebody, I'm not going to say who it is, but there's an EXP agent right now. I haven't got it through to him yet. I'm trying to teach him about being essentially the Brent Gove of his community. He could be the #1 real estate leader in his community and basically draw everybody to him. But in order to do that, he has to have the self-esteem and the confidence to view himself as that. All right, so we're going to go a little deeper on this. Couple of powerful thoughts that you could start declaring to yourself. One is, I am your real estate solution for life. So instead of being transactional, be relationship. Yes, close the transaction, get the listing. And I've told you guys this story before. My last real estate deal that I did, I haven't heard from the agent since the deal closed. So he's transactional. He's not relational. He's not looking to be my real estate solution for life. He was looking to close a deal, which he did, and he made 15 grand or whatever he made. But he's not thinking about the value I can bring to him if he's my real estate solution for life. So that's a very powerful way of being, to be their real estate solution for life, which would cause you to then call them on their real estate anniversary. You would automatically call them on their real estate anniversary. You'd automatically buy the Girl Scout cookies when their daughter's selling the Girl Scout cookies. You would automatically do these certain things if you're the real estate solution for life. The next mindset, I turn one deal into 4. I turn one deal into 4. Because if you make 15 grand a deal and you turn one into 4, how much money is that?
60.
That's 60 grand. Let me ask you this. If your mindset was, I'm going to earn $60,000 today, you think that might shift how you think about prospecting? Like if you're present to when I prospect today, this is $60,000 because I'm going to turn one deal into 4. Most people don't think like that. What's going in through the mind of somebody? They're getting ready to prospect somebody, but they don't do it. What's in their mind? If they're going to prospect, I want to grow my business, but they don't do it. What's going through their mind? Fear of rejection.
Mm-hmm.
They're thinking about how the other person's going to respond. Fear of rejection. That wasn't my thought. when I prospected Brent. That's why I'm here. Because I could have been like, my gosh, he's Brent Gove. He could have anybody train his team. He's already got a slew of trainers. What would he need me for? But that wasn't how I was thinking about it. I was focused on, I'm going to take the action to grow my business. I was focused on my action, not what his response is going to be. So instead of focusing on how the person's going to respond, well, they're probably not interested in EXP. Or there's another more established agent in the community. Why would they want to give me their business? Or they're probably going to say no. Or the rates, they're not going to want to be buying or selling now. If you're thinking that, you're probably going to talk yourself out of the prospecting. Here's the next mindset. Consistency will pay off. Consistency will pay off. So when I prospect today, I will reach out to 25 or more people today. And the reason I will do that is because, and this is a golden nugget for you, I have a prospecting plan. And I'm not going to go around the room and say, what's your prospecting plan? And what, I'm not going to put anybody on the spot because some of you are like, well, I don't really have a plan. Think about the consequences of that. What does it cost you if you don't have a prospecting plan? So here's my plan. I'll give you the blueprint. 25 reach outs, Monday through Friday. Now, I'm not telling you to do 25. You would use that as a blueprint, a model, and then ask yourself, how many would mine be? How many reach outs would I do? Maybe yours is higher, maybe yours is lower, maybe yours includes the weekends because you're in real estate and I'm a sales trainer. But I mean, can we all agree it's a good idea to have a prospecting plan?
Yeah.
Okay. Could you let's just do it right now. And you don't have to tell me or share it with your neighbor. Just hold the thought. Just create your plan right now. How many reach outs will you do? How often? Just write down your plan. I'm going to do 5 a day. I'm going to do whatever. Just write your plan down. Then you have a plan. So when you have a plan, you wake up in the morning, you know what to do. Right? So I lift weights 6 days a week. So today's one of my days. There's only one day I don't lift weights to give myself a little bit of a break. So what does that mean I'm going to do today? I'm going to lift weights. I don't have to think about it. Isn't that nice that you don't have to think about it? Should I go to the gym or not? Just do it. That's my language to myself. That's what I do. Anybody could do it. All right. I teach it only takes 2 minutes to do a prospecting outreach. And I do a lot of mine electronically. So when I prospected Brent, it was a text. Send him a text takes about 2 minutes. Okay. So if you did 5 a day, how much is that?
10 minutes a day.
We all have 10 minutes a day, especially with your smartphone. Turn your smartphone into an ATM machine. Turn your smartphone into an ATM machine. I was at a PCAR meeting one time. Some of you might have been there. I forget the name of the speaker, but the speaker said that your smartphone has $5 million in pipeline on it. You're out looking for the leads right on your phone. Got a phone attached to it. There's $5 million in pipeline on your phone. Okay. So little thing on your phones. To me, the image on your phone is pretty important. So I have a photo of my wife. That inspires me. Okay. So I got 2 images. I got a photo of my wife there. I got a photo of my wife here. Okay. So later on today, take a look at what you have on your phone to see if that inspired you. Every time I look at my phone, I get inspired. We look at our phone a lot. Look up, do the research on, it does it for you. How many times we pick up our phone a day? It's ridiculous. You don't even want to know the number, but have something on your phone that inspires you. Write down in your notes, there's $5 million in pipeline on your phone. Okay, I want to talk about agent attraction for just a second. Whether you're doing it or not, how many of you see value in doing some agent attraction? How many of you see value in doing it? Okay, a lot of people see value in doing it and they don't do it. So why would somebody not do agent attraction? The thinking. And what's the thinking? If somebody's not doing agent attraction, what is the number one reason? What's the thought that's going through their head?
Rejection, it's not worth it.
The number one thing is, in addition to rejection, I gotta produce. Eric, I got a family to feed.
Immediately.
Yeah, they're immediate.
I got a family to feed. I get that. But here's the deal. If you have that mindset, there's no wrong thoughts, there's no wrong feelings. Okay, there's no wrong thoughts. It's not a wrong thought to go, I have a family to feed. Yeah, of course, you got a family to feed. But what you're saying there is I can't do both. And that's only true if you say so. There is an area where that is true. Nick Lynch, he comes to this meeting sometimes. Nick's a friend of mine for many years. And Nick said to me one time, he said, I want to tell you how many women I can juggle at one time. It's like, what? He goes, it's a range. I said, what's the range? 0 to 1. I'm like, ain't that the truth? Anybody trying to do something other than that? Good luck. So that's an example where we need singular focus, but not in business. Okay, so I'm going to give you a word. A word is language. I'm going to give you a word that could change your life right now. I could transform you in agent attraction right now. And the word is expand. See, if you're saying, I got to feed my family, I can't do agent attraction. That's only true if you say it's true. That's like saying, I can't get myself to go to the gym. That's only true if you say it's true. So I have Eric Lofholm International. That's my sales training company. I have this other company that I just started called the Bing Movement LLC. And I'm the president of that company. It's a whole separate company. Now, I could have turned down that. It's a phenomenal opportunity. I could have turned it down and said, well, I don't have time because I'm busy doing Eric Lofholm International. But I have a different way of thinking. It's expand. So I'm talking to this woman yesterday, and we're talking about, this is the conversation, eradicating hunger globally. That was the conversation. And we were talking about raising $100 billion. That was the conversation I was in yesterday. And I didn't say to her, well, I'm too busy running Eric Lofholm International. I'm too busy with the Being Movement, and I don't have time to help solve the problem of hunger globally. I mean, I could have said that. But I believe I can do all three and be a great dad and go to the gym but not and forever. All you can do is a handful of things that you prioritize. You can do agent attraction, reach out to 5 agents a day, 2 minutes per, right? That can you do 10 minutes a day of agent attraction? You can do it if you say you can do it. And if you say you can't do it, then you can't do it. And it's up to you. But I want you to think about expansion, because you can do it. Okay. So this is my cell phone. I have a 45-minute training I did the other day on prospecting. It's just a link. You just hit play on your smartphone. You can listen to it or you can watch it. It's a recorded piece of content. So you don't even have to watch the PowerPoint slides when you're driving around your car, put the earbuds in when you're working out. Just text me if you want that content. 45 minutes on prospecting. It's a really good piece of content. All right. So I want to give you my favorite prospecting idea and my favorite prospecting mindset. My favorite idea is to gamify my prospecting. And gamification is used in a lot of different ways, including Starbucks. Do any of you know that if you order your Starbucks on the app, you get, I think it's double points than if you order it? Did anybody know that? Okay. Starbucks, they'll double it, and then you don't have to wait in line if you get your Starbucks. So knowing that I get double the points, if I order on the app, where am I going to order? I'm going to order on the app. See, they're guiding my behavior using a strategy called gamification. So you start looking around and you'll see this shows up all over the world. They use things to gamify. Johnny was talking about it with the fundraiser,
Yeah.
right? So what do we want to do with the fundraiser? We want to win. Last year was Lions. We want to win. So that's a different way of thinking. That's a game. So you gamify your prospecting. So Mike, does anybody remember my game? How many do I do? 25? Monday through Friday. Doesn't mean I don't prospect on the weekends, but that's not my game on the weekends. That's kind of like bonus, right? Monday through Friday, I do 25. So you create your game, and then you just go out and you just play your game. So last night, I was doing some prospecting, and I was doing it on LinkedIn. I prospect all kinds of ways, but this one was on LinkedIn, and so I reached out to this guy. His name is Greg James. I sent him this message. Hey, I'm doing a 3-hour event in Roseville, 9 to noon, April 5th. Would you like to attend? And he goes, thank you for the invite, Eric. I've been pretty busy, so hard for me to break away for now. So in other words, he said no. Okay, here's my mindset. No's are no big deal. No's are no big deal. Okay, so, but I did that at 9:20 last night. Why do you think I was prospecting so late?
Because you didn't get your 25.
That's it. I didn't get my number.
Been there, done that.
I didn't get my number. It's not that I wanted to be prospecting. And here's a mindset that can destroy our productivity. I deserve blank. Okay. In other words, you make a sale, you got a bunch of debt, you get a nice $15,000 commission coming in. I deserve to go shopping. And you go spend $1,000 shopping. It's like, no, you're in debt. You don't deserve to go shopping. This isn't the time to go shopping. But sometimes we do stuff that's not the right time to do it. Right? So we're not in shape. You know, we're physically out of shape. And it's like, I've worked hard all day. I deserve to eat after 10 o'clock tonight and eat a bunch of stuff, bitch ice cream I shouldn't be eating. Okay. So the I deserve is an interesting mindset to think about. If you're allowing yourself to do stuff you shouldn't be doing out of I deserve. Something to think about. So I could have easily said that last night. I worked hard all day. And I did. I had a big impact yesterday. I did this, I did that. I was with my family. I blah, 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 blah. I deserve to not hit my 25 today. And I could have talked myself right out of it. But instead of that, it's I'm committed. That's the language. That's a powerful word, by the way. Right here, commitment. What are you committed to? Are you committed to doing an open house every week? Are you committed to agent attraction? Are you committed to fill in the blank? Right? What are you committed to? I was talking to an agent the other day, and the agent's like, I don't know if I want to stay in the business or not. I'm like, how do you think that's showing up with your prospects? Nobody wants to hire an agent who's not committed. Something to think about. So you gamify it. You gamify your prospecting, and then you're committed to your game. And you say, I'm committed to my game. So that's my secret sauce for how I do 25 every day. Right? So I reached out to Rodney the other day because we're booking an appointment. What Rodney might not have realized was when I reached out to him, got a little tick mark on my 25. Did some prospecting. Right? But that motivates me to reach out to people. This conversation I was having with this woman yesterday about the 100 billion for the hunger thing. I reached out to her over gamification. Got to get one little tick mark. Then we happen to have this really crazy conversation about ending hunger globally. All right. So here's the mindset. The mindset, instead of focusing on how they're going to respond when we prospect, which is how we talk ourselves out of prospecting. Right. Well, they're not going to be interested in joining EXP. They're the biggest brokerage in the area outside of EXP as far as independent brokers. Why would they want to join? Or whatever, right? Or you're prospecting for your real estate business, or you're door knocking, or you're doing whatever you're doing. Instead of looking at it like that, I flipped it on its head. And I don't think I read this in a book. It just came to me one day. A different language that shifted everything. And the language is, when I prospect, I win. And when I book the appointment, I double win. I win no matter what. So if you're taking notes, you might jot that down your notes. I'll say it a couple times. Because if this becomes your language, if you start speaking this is what's crazy. What you're speaking creates this, creates this. I was talking to somebody about their exercise program, and they said something like, I was really good in January, but in February, I've just been going crazy. And they were talking about crazy in terms of their eating not good, right? Doing great in January, I'm just going crazy in February. Okay, so this is it's actually a declaration, an I statement. I'm going crazy in February. So that person's going crazy in February. What's their action gonna be? Going crazy. I'm going to fast food. I'm getting the chips. I'm eating ice cream. This is gonna be awesome. Can't wait to get that ice cream tonight at 10 o'clock. And then they're like, they're not getting results. And then they're saying, I know what I need to do. I just need to do it. No, you need to look at the language. The language. I don't ever go crazy with my food. I mean, maybe like one meal once a month or something, but that's not their way of being. So when I prospect, I win. So if you did 5 agent attractions today, it's going to take you 10 minutes. All right. And all 5 will tell you to go fly a kite, which they're not, but let's just say they did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What a lot of people do, here's our language. I'm my harshest critic. I'm hard on myself. People say that all the time. I'm my harshest critic. I'm hard on myself. So if that's my language, what's my action going to be? You're going to be hard on yourself, and you're going to do that every single day for the rest of your life. And then you're going to teach it to your kids, because that's the way we do it in our family. You got to be hard on yourself, son. It'll just come out of you. You'll just, without you even realizing it, it'll just come out of you, and you'll program your kids to be that way. Okay, forget all that. That doesn't increase performance. I'm my harshest critic does not increase performance. I'll tell you my experience of what increases performance. I'm going to give you the language pattern. I am my number one cheerleader. I am my number one cheerleader. As a way of being. Right? So I had a Zoom meeting the other day. Do I still have a few more minutes, or is Brent here?
Yeah, you have the whole time.
Cool. So I got the Zoom meeting the other day. Meeting just like this, but it's over Zoom. I didn't put it on my calendar. So I didn't do it. And the guy Facebook messages me. Hey, where are you at? And at that point, I was not in front of my computer, and it wasn't going to happen. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And that's happened in my 20-year career about 5 times. So it's hardly ever happened, right? Except with this guy. One of my other 5 times was with him. So he just thinks like his experience of me is Eric Lofholm is like the biggest flake on the planet. And I was just horrified. I was just, oh my gosh, it's terrible. And it was a big screw up. And I did feel really, 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 really bad. And I communicated that to him. And I didn't carry it over into my next appointment. I just let it go. I wasn't going to go the rest of my day beating myself up. My next appointment was with James, our James. We were meeting for lunch. And I didn't walk into my meeting with James. I don't even think I mentioned it to him. But I didn't carry it with him. And I think, oh my gosh, I'm such an idiot. I'm such a loser. I can't believe I did that. Oh my gosh, this is terrible. It was an honest mistake. And that day I had that was a big screw up for me. But I did 15 other great things that day. And that's true for you too. But what do we focus on? April Osteen is Joel Osteen's sister. I had her on my call the other day. She was telling the story about this plane flight. She was on this 8-hour plane flight. And the last 20 minutes of it was really turbulent. So she's telling the story to her friends or whatever. I had this plane flight. The last 20 minutes was so turbulent. I had, my daughter had a drink, or I had a drink in my hand. We dumped it on the other one. And so she's telling the story. And then she realized after about a week, it was an 8-hour flight. The whole flight, except the last 20 minutes, was great. And what was the whole conversation around? The 20 minutes of turbulence. And she was making that point. I was like, oh my gosh, that is so good. April, that's so good. Anyway, if you guys text me for the prospecting, I'll send you her message, just a little 15-minute message. It was good. She is really good. Anyway, I don't want you to focus on the hiccups, because the reality is, for every one hiccup you have, you got 15 things you're doing great. You got the kids to school. You showed up for the appointment. You wore your word here. You did this good thing here. You did this good thing here. But if you're your harshest critic, what are you going to focus on? The hiccup. Be your number one cheerleader. So now I'm going to tell you something. It's kind of woo-woo. A little woo-woo, what I'm going to tell you guys. You look in the mirror at yourself when nobody's around and you say, I love you. And then you say it with your name. I love you, Eric. Eric, I love you. And you look, and it's mirror work. And I'm loving myself. It's kind of woo-woo. So I'm like, I don't know, I want to do that, Eric. That's why you do it by yourself. Okay. Nobody's there. Like, it's just try it. Because if you're loving on yourself, it's a form of being your number one cheerleader. And you're less likely to beat yourself up if you're communicating with yourself in that way. And then your brain is designed to get your outer world to match up with your inner world. So you see yourself as the champion that you are. That's why I paid the guy the 45 grand. Because this isn't like how people normally talk. So tomorrow, I know it's kind of late notice and you guys are probably working tomorrow, but I'm doing what we're doing here for 30 minutes. I'm doing it for 8 hours tomorrow on a Zoom. And you can do that with me live, or I'll send you the recording. If you guys are already busy, if you are enjoying this conversation, and what I'm going to teach tomorrow is how do you surgically remove thoughts from your mind? How do you remove a thought of I'm not good enough? How do you remove a thought of I don't deserve success? How do you remove a thought of fill in the blank? And that's why I paid this guy 45 grand. So I'll send, you don't even have to ask for it. If you text me, I'll send you all the stuff. You get like 3 or 4 things in the email. You just do whatever you want to do. Okay. I'll show you guys one last thing. We'll call it a day. So this is my $1 billion box. It's a little box at Staples, but I created it as a $1 billion box. Your box might be the $100 million box or the $500 million box. In other words, all the business that's going to get created out of this box. And what do you think's in the box?
Context.
This is what is in the box, is leads. And so right now I'm working on a project and I'm putting 1,500 leads on index cards, 1 lead per index card. Because if I reach out to somebody 4 times a year to prospect them, if 25 a day times 250 business days, it's about 6,000. So I need lead inventory to do 6,000 prospecting touches. That's the math for my business. So if I'm going to do 6,000 prospecting touches, I need 1,500 leads. So I'm going to fill up this box with 1,500 leads, and I can recycle these leads year in and year out. So I can call the same darn leads 4 times a year, prospect them for the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, and create $1 billion in business out of this box. Okay, you can do this with a CRM. You can do it manually, you can do it both. Okay, what I like about this is it's easy if you're collecting business cards, you're out networking, etc. So does anybody like this idea? Okay, just make a little note to yourself, go down and get and you just factor, okay, I'm going to do 100 transactions out of that box at $1 million a transaction. That's my $100 million box. It's a little different than thinking, oh, if I call this person, they're going to reject me. All right. So that's my message for today. Hopefully you got something out of it. If you didn't, oh well, but hopefully you did. Thanks for being here. Have a great rest of your meeting.
All right, everybody, that's all we have for today. So we will see you next Thursday, same time, same place, and we're going to be covering probates and trust. It'll be a lot of fun. See you then.